Welcome to Vlog Thursday number 260. Woohoo! 31 people here already as soon as I hit the live button. And it takes a minute. And we got who do we have in here? Hello from Denmark. There was the first. Happy Thursday from Chris here. And sorry that you had to spend any time at all in your life using QuickBooks, let alone actually fixing it. QuickBooks is the most used and hated product. I tweeted this the other day at, I believe it was the Linux Gamer. We follow each other on Twitter, and one of the things I think just so many people have a hard time understanding. I can both believe QuickBooks is an awful, stupid, terrible product. I can also make money servicing QuickBooks. These two things can simultaneously be true. I cannot like something, but also make money from it. And this just applies to so many things in tech. And it is what it is. I can dislike Microsoft, but still have a business that services Microsoft servers. That's a fact. These things are both true at the same time. And so it's just life and how things are going. Because also I have a thing in the thumbnail, and I don't know if people are going to be able to guess or if people will look at this and go, I know what that is. And we'll leave this for later for people that want to know what this thing is. I'm curious who's going to be able to guess it first. And we'll play with it on air. So that's nonetheless, there's lots of things to talk about, but I'm going to try to keep it narrower in scope. Me and Jay do this thing, Jay from Learn Linux TV, where we get together and talk tech every Tuesday, specifically around what we do is in our jobs. Is it a job doing YouTube and talking to people? I don't know. We actually joke about that. We're not positive if this is really, it is a job we make money at, but it's also kind of fun. I do enjoy this quite a bit. Take a drink of my tea. I do love this. My daughter got me this cup for Christmas. It is truly my favorite cup for tea, and it's tea in case I drink coffee in the morning, and then I'm a caffeinated free herbal tea drinker in the afternoon. Hey, someone recognized that this is a label printer, which of course the first label you got to stick on a label printer it's always DNS. Why would you buy a pink label printer, Tom? That's USB and Bluetooth. So it's really simple. Life pro tip: if you're ever at a construction site and you have a tool that is pink, there is a 100% less likely chance that anyone's going to try to wander off with it. Also, it'll be pretty confidently known it's that you're the one with the pink one. It'll be a discussion topic, but I'm not worried about someone stealing this. It's also inexpensive. It just came in from Amazon the other day. It's actually a really clever little Bluetooth label printer. It's you can go ahead and actually let's print something on here. So we'll put it's kind of just, I like the simplicity of it. So if we type in vlog Thursday, and you just hold my phone up just like that, and then you just press the print button. And it's just the really, really simplistic of this. And I think this thing's like $35. They're pretty inexpensive. I might do a review on it. I just needed a handy little inexpensive label printer to be able to print things. And those questions come up. Is this the commercial industrial thing you should use commercially? No, that's not what it's for. But when you need something small like that fits in your back pocket that you want to be able to put some labels when you're out somewhere, for $35, it can't be beat, because a $35 label is still better than no label at all. So that's my thoughts on that. All right, back on topic of things here. The review I'm working on, I actually spoke today, and for those of you that are in the MSP community, managed service provider, IT provider, and like to talk about software, here's my the little label here that says, there we go, Vlog Thursday. But can it be used to mark wires? Of course it can be used to mark wires. Absolutely, it can be used for wires. I did not have time to make my cable labeling video, so yes. There we go. Thank you for flying Vim. So yes, that's that is a Vim sticker on the mic. Absolutely. Matter of fact, the mic is actually, sorry for the noise this may make. There we go. It's a little bit low. It may end up down lower as the vlog goes on. Anyways, the labels that I'll be doing for cabling is still an upcoming video. I did not have time to complete that, but let me finish my thought so I can just kind of get off of the topic. But I'm looking for feedback on this. So I put this early in the vlog, so not everybody makes it to the end. I get it, but I did put in as a title topic NinjaOne. So we have moved off of the Enable platform and over to the NinjaOne platform. So there are upcoming videos on this. Unfortunately, I've been really, really busy and hadn't have time to do said videos. So that's well, good news, Peter. I'm on that topic because I wanted to knock it out at the beginning for those of you that don't have to stay later for the video. Anyways, so I'm working on a video on NinjaOne. Feedback is always appreciated. What are the things you want to know? What are the questions? You can, post in my forums is a great place to have a Q&A. So I understand what all should be in a video. If not, I have a pretty good, I have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to be doing the video, how I'm going to be putting things together. I do have a system set up that I can share. Let me actually bring that over. So if we go to clicking share a screen. I hope this is the right one. This looks like the right screen. Actually, let me go to yep, that's the right screen. Cool. This is what the NinjaOne, and don't worry about seeing IP addresses in here. These are not my IP addresses. I figure I'll get that. So if we go to an overview, I think it has the IP on here. Yeah, it is. If someone wants to look that up, they'll figure out that that's PIA's IP address. But this is kind of what the platform looks like. I'll dive into a lot more of it sooner than later on how it works. So that'll be an upcoming video where I go a little bit in there, and I like it better. There's a reason we did some demos with it before we switched to it. There's definitely it's a platform I like a lot better. It's something we're working towards, and it's a nice system. I do overall like it. Actually, I have to make some changes to it. I got to log in with the other account. I realize I have something else tied to it that doesn't need to be, so let me go ahead and switch that. So I want to go and show you guys another part of the demo, but I can't do it until I log out, log in. So that should be right here. How did that get switched? Okay, I'll fix that later. Either way, to give you an idea of some of the stuff that works on it, that's what I'll be covering. Let's see. Can you access Windows desktops from Linux desktop using Ninja RMM? The answer is this. Ninja RMM is all web-based. So you don't access the desktop from Ninja RMM at all. That's not what it's for. Ninja RMM is remote management and monitoring, not desktop access. We get desktop access via Screen Connect. So I still use Screen Connect, and Screen Connect works in Windows. So because Screen Connect works in Windows, I can still use, and in Linux, Windows for the server side or client side, and then me, I'm connecting with Linux. Therefore, as long as you use the Screen Connect, yes. Ninja also has Splashtop. Splashtop, I have not tried to make it, or nor do I have plans to make an attempt to get it working under Linux. So that's not something I plan on doing. So why did that? I got too many demos open at once. I'm trying to find out the right login with the right demo. So that one should work, and this one should work here. If not, there we go. All right. Oh, I see why. Never mind. Person got the wrong access. Now that should fix it. Save. The demos, when you do them live, this is the reason I record all the demos. People ask why I don't do more live stuff. This stuff's broken. And you are right. It does integrate with that. So yes, that's one of the features it has of integrating with the Screen Connect. That's one of the things I wanted to show. Actually, let me hit save here. Policy reports. View. Connect. That should work. That should work. All right. That's why it wasn't working. It was actually the ability to do that. So that's why I'm saving these settings so I can log in with all of this. I was wondering why it was missing. I'm like, why is that not there at the top? So I was like, what did I do wrong? View restore. There we go. None. Sorry about the delay here, folks. Don't worry. I'll catch up with you in a second. All right. Save. Now I should be able to log in and share the screen. And it should actually have all the right information and the little icon at the top that was missing. Yay. There we go. Recently, Window Admin Center works great. Love the ability to manage basically everything in your browser. Perfect for Windows Server shops. Yes. I have no idea if it's good for Mac. We don't do Mac management. That's just something we're not really, not us, not our thing. Not something we do. Simple as that. Share screen, Chrome tab. That's probably the wrong tab. So let's close, and make sure this is the right tab. Problem is when you have everything open, you have lots of tabs open. There we go. Now I got the right tab. Share. Woohoo! Back to the right one. Demos are always cursed. Live demos. Part of the problem is we have a specific demo user setup that we've been using to try all the different permissions. And, even though these companies go through their own audit reports, hey, cool, I read your documentation, but let's go further and test every aspect of it. I created a bunch of user restrictions. Now the things show all at the top like they're supposed to. Splash top, ConnectWise control, manage backups are all showing up. Processor details, all the fun stuff. These are all things, and all this is web-based. This is just a web page, by the way. So that's how I'm able to see all of this. So it doesn't really matter as long as you have access to a web browser, whether it's a Chrome tablet or if it's whatever. You can see all these right here. And this, of course, is the one everyone wants to know: is how'd this go? How did the patching go on any of this, or what patches got installed? Did it break apart during Patch Tuesday and things like that? Because we wanted to make sure all of these things got installed. So here's just all the patches, and we can pull up the task manager in here. People asking about the command prompt. I should have that. Did I not enable that still? Well, I came close. I apparently did enable backend command prompt still. Whatever. You get the idea. The file explorer works now, or not. Error. Nope. I forgot to give permission to this user. My bad. Oh, the fun of doing this. You get the idea, though. When I put together the demo, it'll be more complete because yeah. Yes, it does manage and patch Windows. That's built in. So you have Windows patch management. NinjaOne. Pull up their site and talk about what they are. So we'll stop this share, add another share. Share screen, Chrome tab. This is their website for people that just want to run down the feature list of everything they do. But I wanted to bring it up. Like I said, I'm going to dive into doing a more in-depth video on all of this. In You can, by the way, and I'm going to mention this in the beginning of the video, feel free to ask how much it costs because it helps with engagement, but you won't get replies. But go ahead and leave all those comments on there because I don't talk pricing on these particular videos. That's for you and your salesperson to decide. Because I've had people that just like to hammer that out there, and I'm like, oh, go ahead. It's not a problem. But they have a pretty cool platform overall. They have some nice, fun screenshots and everything out there. I don't even know if they support Mac though. They support Linux. When I've done some Linux testing with it so far, it seems to work, but I'm not big on any of the Mac side of it at all. If someone says, "Hey, I'd like you to manage our Mac environment," I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure you would, but I'm gonna have to pass on this particular project. We don't plan on getting good at Macs. We're not a Mac place, so yeah." But they do have all the patch management, cross-platform patch management for remote and hybrid workforces. Remote access. This is actually through Splashtop. We have not tested, but this is something we're going to test. Someone asked, we currently use Freshdesk for ticketing, and we'll probably keep using Freshdesk for the immediate future, but we're going to look at the ticketing system because it's integrated with them. It has to be at least on par with Freshdesk because one of the things, and I don't know if it is or not, we haven't tested it. So it's like one challenge at a time. Freshdesk, we've spent time working on and understand it. We are testing out and have demoed all their backups. Their backup system is different because of the way it creates two backup jobs, one for files and one for images. That's something I'm less thrilled about from a solution standpoint, but it's functional. It works. I like setting one backup that does both in one click like the SolarWinds Enable one does, but I'm just being honest, that's something that could be improved, but that's where we are right now. But it's nicely integrated. They have a really nice integration with it. So, okay, it's Sam Sheridan says Ninja does support that. How do you monitor your UPS with Watson data? You use things like, what do you call it? What's that tool? The Linux Nut utility. That's if you care about that data, you use that. It's not something I actually actively monitor. Who's really interested how many watts their house uses? Jay from Learn Linux TV has talked a lot about it. He is way more fascinated with than me. I'm much less concerned with how many watts is going through my UPS. So the way I look at UPSs is, will they have enough capacity to keep the systems powered on long enough for them to power down? And there we go. So that's another way to do it. You can collect UPS info via SNMP or AC UPS. That actually works fine inside of pfSense. So yeah. Able to make a script and package execute on all computers managed. Yes. I actually really like their scripting so far, has worked well. That's actually, we could do that with Enable. And by the way, we wrote the scripts inside of Enable to deploy Ninja, to migrate from Enable to Ninja. Then once we were on Ninja, we used scripts inside of Ninja to remove any extra Enable clients that we had and redeploy. I guess this thing turned off, and redeploy any of the software we need deployed. So yeah, that's the whole process for it. So absolutely, they have the full support for all of that. And it works. That's something we've been doing. So it should be in the RMM IT automation. And they have, by the way, a bunch of built-in scripts. So you have scripts already built in that it can do. And from there, they have anything on the scripts? I'll have to cover it in the video, but they do have scripts. I don't think they have much on for emerging and state and local government, enterprise, expanding, blah, 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 resellers. We're going to be a reseller of it too, because nature of what we do. Matter of fact, because we sell co-managed IT, that's one of the reasons we like them. Their permission set was better so far than Enable's when it comes to being able to say, here's your servers, because we have like internal IT departments that we do some of the external for, like providing SentinelOne, providing managed security through that and monitoring. So that agreement puts people where they go, hey, I'd like to see the dashboard. Well, it was always it wasn't great the way I thought it was handled in Enable. It's handled better inside of Ninja, and that was actually why that well, even this user, I've been playing with all the granular permissions to see if I can get around something, if I can do that. So far, it works pretty good. So, what do we use to automate install software? We use scripts deployed via Ninja for pushing something. So if we have a piece of software we need installed for a particular client, we just put a PowerShell script and we'll push it out through that. This is how we can get, if we have some setting that needs to be deployed or whatever, we use our RMM tool to script that and push it out, whether it's even a registry setting like, hey, Windows 11, can you not bother my people that are on our managed system? You can just push that out as a policy change. There are no, I guess maybe tactical RMM is a free alternative to Ninja, but not exactly. So that's, yeah, that not exactly is how I would say it. There's not any good, solid free systems that are like that. Not at the same scale either as Ninja. They're not targeted. This is something very specific to my space, to have a small staff of people, as we do, of 7 employees, manage a very broad number of endpoints. And that's the way to do it is with RMM tools, because you'll watch this in different forums and discussions of people going, well, how do we not have such a powerful tool on everything? And I'm like, good luck. I mean, you could just throw people at it as a solution and manage it that way, but it's much more realistic to get people using this or using and managing people. Sorry, I'm doing 2 things at once. Managing people with an RMM tool. It's just kind of the reality of it. So let me go ahead and drop, just for those wondering, this is the link, and I can throw it in here. Or it's called the Nimbot, Nimbot. I dropped an Amazon link for people interested in that. So, and tactical RM security concerns, yeah, they had some immature behavior, is what I will simply describe it as, recently with the tactical RMM. I got no dislike for the people at Tactical RMM or anything like that. You can join their Discord. You can get to know people, and I'll even throw a link here for people that don't know what this is. So let's share this screen too. Actually, let me share it somewhere else. Share screen, Chrome tab. And this is the tactical RMM. It looks like they have demo. And this is submit. This is a free remote management tool. I mean, I dropped the link in there. You guys can play with it. So the you have region update page, refresh. There we go. This I've never used it. This is not an endorsement of it. This is someone asking, is there a free alternative out there? This is a pretty cool dedicated team, but it's not necessarily someone who's I don't know where they're at on the maturity of it. I don't think it's been code audited or reviewed. So would you trust to see your bunch of systems? I'll leave that completely up to you. Obviously, I'm paying NinjaOne money for using their product, so I have chose not to do that. Do what you want. I'm not here to tell you. I'm here to inform people of products sometimes, or talk about my opinions on them, or inform you of risk that may come with it. But I'll leave that all up to you. NinjaOne server or Linux server deployed. Their backend is all their own hosted backend. So I don't understand the question. Yes, Jeff Geerling's been doing all kinds of fun tutorials. We may have him on the Home Lab show. Me and Jay, I think Jay reached out to him, or I'm going to reach out to him if Jay hasn't. But yeah, we want to get Jeff on. He does some really solid tutorials, especially, he's a Raspberry Pi enthusiast. I believe he's got some really solid Ansible videos. So yeah. Does Ninja have a self-hosted option? No, they do not, and nor will they. Jeff is great for sure. Thank you very much for the super sticker there, Pete. Much appreciated. I don't think there's, yeah, the super stickers don't show in my, I'm using StreamYard for managing the chat and it doesn't show in here. So yes, Jeff is a solid habits of documentation for sure. Yeah, NinjaOne does not have it. Okay, so someone else asked that same thing. And it looks like Tactical has logged out. So we'll stop sharing that screen. I'm done with, I've talked about it. I've shown people Tactical. If you're looking for a self-hosted option, the Tactical RMM is the only one I can even think of. That's, well, I can't say that. I think there's still a couple other companies out there making some self-hosted ones, but they're going to be a lot different. And they're not, certainly not in the free category. Yes, Red Shirt Jeff. He's always up to chaos. That's a good point. You probably, I believe he did write a book on Ansible. I think I haven't read any of his books, but I've watched a handful of YouTube videos and seems like a really solid tutorials, really nice and genuinely. Anyone knows, I'm not directly interacted with him, but yeah. So he seems like a nice guy. I have no reason to believe otherwise. Jeff seems genuine. Mesh Central is another one that's out there. I've never really looked at it. A few people talked about it. It is a let me pull it up. Mess Central. Which is part of this. I'll drop a link to it. It's not, once again, don't think of this as an endorsement for said product. This is just me mentioning it. It's not something I've ever used. So don't, if it ends up, having some nefarious bugs in it that allow for bad things to happen. There you go. I don't know much about it, but this is the Mesh. I think it's meshcommander.com, a set of open source projects focused on remote management of devices. People ask me about it. It's not something I plan to use in production. I'm not confident yet that they've gone through thorough code reviews. And that, boy, if there's something right now that's going on, and if the Kaseya incident of July of 2021 wasn't, memorable enough, it's one of those things. Like, even companies, now granted, Kaseya is probably not the best example because they're clearly a company that was not securing things very well. But the problems of massive management means high risk. So with that higher risk and a lot at stake, we just have to, as much as I'm a big open source advocate, I have to be very realistic, and I have to go with companies that have put the money and put the time in and the effort, and which, by the way, does cost quite a bit of money to go through security audits and review of their product and have pen testing done on regular basis. You can't just choose a product based at this level. I mean, maybe something that runs locally, less of a big deal. Something that manages at a one-to-many scale, computer systems, I mean, that's something I don't take lightly. So I'm very careful about the software I choose on that topic. And security is really just one of those first questions I ask for any of these softwares that I choose. Where's security? Is it a secure product? Before I can go a step further, I have to have that answered, because if that answer is no, or we don't bother auditing, or I've had companies who are just straight up evasive and don't want to talk about the security they use, that's fine. That means we don't want to have any further conversation with that company. It's as simple as that to me. So Mess Central, I probably said Mess Central. So that's for sure. Let's see, is there a good rule of thumb calculating ISP speeds on a build? I'm assuming you mean for pfSense. Yeah, you can go to the pfSense. You can go to Netgate's website specifically, look at their hardware, and they have a speed chart for how fast that hardware can go. And you'll actually find it doesn't even take barely anything to do 1 gig. An older, not even super fast processor will handle 1 gig routing without a problem. Been using Ninja RMM for our internal team for almost 2 years. It's just been getting better and better. That's one thing, even since we started this process of we moved sections of clients over, and this is some of the chaos it created internally. Is it's a segment of our clients were on Ninja for testing reasons. The other ones were still left on Enable because we weren't positive if we were going to switch. The demo went really well, but some of the bugs or shortcomings, I should say, not really bugs, but shortcomings we found with the product, with the navigation and a couple other things, were actually fixed in I think it was their December update. So we've actually, in our cycle of testing it from November to December, we actually seen direct improvements. Their improvement and their track for doing it seems to be pretty well laid out. Like they're very open about what they're going to be doing next. And that's something I really like them, the company. They seem to engage with us as IT people of things that are getting better. So I thought that was cool. Recommended RMM, NinjaOne, sure. Oh man, now me and Sam could talk about this, and anyone else who's ever used Enable. The billing in Enable is confusing. So that's partly an industry problem. Some of the companies in the industry have confusing billing. So I've never used TeamViewer, so I have no opinion on that. Yep, SG1100 will do that much with that speed. Yes. Let me know how much I need to order, like 100 meg or 200 meg. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Looking for an RMM tool to scale the business. Yeah. So that's fine. That's a fine jug. How big is it? I assume you mean this cup. This is I have no idea. It holds enough tea to keep me happy for about an hour. From the time I sit it on my desk and let it steep so the tea gets to the point where I want it, I'm going to say I have about an hour of happiness with it. I think that's a fair enough assessment. We'll talk about this briefly because it's worth mentioning, I guess. I put this in here because, and I'll drop a link. Hey, look, it's Sam Sheridan who messaged me right here. Anyways, for those of you that would like to connect with me on LinkedIn, I did put this in the description of the video. I've been trying to use LinkedIn a little bit more. So if you would like to connect with me on LinkedIn, please feel free to do so. I'm just bringing it up here. No particular reason other than if you are trying to increase your business professional network. Hey, I said, why not? I can throw this in a live stream and talk about it. I don't mind connecting with people on LinkedIn, but whatever platform, whether it's Twitter, whether it's LinkedIn, whichever platform you'd like to in some way engage with me, the proper way, and I actually helped someone out with this the other day. The proper way to engage is not by asking for tech support via DM. I will simply send you to forums in that case. If you're looking for tech support, that's not the way to connect with me. But if people want to have conversation and reach out, I'm open to, hey, this or hey, that, and things like that. I am social, but when it comes to one-on-one talks, the problem with doing tech support on a one-on-one basis is it doesn't teach the rest of the world something. That's why I have my forums. As a matter of fact, many times, it's something that's always been weird to me is when people email me, or not even email me, so those get ignored to the volume. I can't handle them. But when people send me DMs that are literally, I can highlight, right click, and Google search, and it's the first search result. That's also not a great thing. If you haven't even Googled it, which, by the way, I thought someone asked me a question about something. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I thought it was funny because the first result was my forums. That's just, and I usually reply to people like that say, please help me with this, setting in PFSense. I'm like, forums, things like that. But nonetheless, yeah. Like you said last week, DM you to talk about cars and motorcycles. That's a more likely about that. So absolutely. So, um, I thought only people using LinkedIn were the ones looking for jobs. It turns out there's a little bit more interaction on LinkedIn, somewhat more than I expected. So, yes, there's probably a percentage, but I've actually had some good engagement and become friends with some more cybersecurity people on there. And following different cybersecurity people like Wes from over at Perch or Jason Snagel and a few other people, I've made more friends and had some good interactions with them, just learning about tech and talking about their perspectives on things. And they post and have good discussions on there. So there's other reasons besides that. So I'm going to say LinkedIn actually has a use case for professional development, and it's good having these circles of people. So you're engaging with them, understanding and doing community things, because there's not really as much, and I've never been as big on them anyways, to some extent, going places. I don't always like to travel much because I kind of like my little comfortable desk I sit at most of the time, which with the incidents of 2020 and 2021 and all these conferences getting canceled, now I am actually engaging with more people online because they have no other choice, because you're not going to find Tom at as many conferences. So hence things like LinkedIn are become rather important for communities to get together, talk with people and engage with them in a way that, we have. There's so many facets of technology. Having all these extra resources and people is really helpful. So I had no idea. LinkedIn Learning and LinkedIn Premium is free to a year for all vets. That's actually really cool. So that's pretty neat. Oh, I have really wanted to do this a lot. I am always polite because I helped someone else who they actually DM'd me on Reddit, and I was like, they asked for some help, but their help came 4 paragraphs asking about hard drive. So I'm not even sure, something about a choice in a hard drive for TrueNAS. And then I said, this is something better in the forums. They said, well, I posted in a forum and people didn't reply. And I looked at their forum posts. I'm like, you wrote 4 paragraphs that don't really have many question marks. And that can be probably why no one's responding. There's so much reading that you've put the burden going, here, read my entire history. And then somewhere in there, I have a question. That is not the best way to get someone to have tech support. And the other problem that I've run into, and I've told people, I don't have time to do this. It's a capacity thing. If you have a narrowly scoped problem, someone posted a problem with, they were having a radius server. I knew about what the answer was because I think I knew it. I don't remember the setting, but I told them what I thought the answer was and sent them a link right away. Great. I have other people I didn't answer. I've had people leave like 12 screenshots and 3 paragraphs of text. Hey, I'd like you to review my configuration. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not going to, I just don't have the capacity to stop and read. If you ask me one simple question about your whole setup, but a narrowly focused one, I'll answer that question. It's an overwhelming thing to people who want to provide, and I'm providing free tech support in my forums to the capacity of which I can, do this. And by the way, I have thousands of posts that I've done, so I'm doing this quite a bit. But if you notice what I reply to versus the ones I ignore, if someone just screenshots every section of their PF Sense and asks me, what do you think? I'm probably going to not say anything about it. So I'm always trying to encourage people, because I never want to be toxic in my forums like a lot of people are. And it's easy to get that way. Obviously, you can become bitter and jaded and, these people should just know or whatever. But my goal is ultimately to bring everybody in, bring everybody up to speed. And sometimes that means teaching people how to ask a better question so they get the result they're looking for. And that's ultimately the goal. I want them to have their problems solved. I also don't want to have to read through 3 paragraphs of text. There's a lot of research that people can do on their own. Spend some time Googling. You're not the first user of that product is pretty much almost always going to be the case. Therefore, someone else has probably tried to do this and ran into these problems before. So, yeah. That's kind of a true statement. The best way to get the right answer on the internet is not to ask the question, but to post the wrong answer. People will correct you. Yes, as long as you're concise about it and things like that. For sure. Let's see what else we have in here. Such a true statement, though. Lots of people going into detail on how you're wrong. Yes, yes. If you want to dive into, well, kind of related to that, and it always made me laugh was there's I like history a lot, and the book released by Malcolm Gladwell called The Bomber Mafia talks about LeMay. He was a brilliant strategist with the Air Force, and LeMay sat through like a 2-hour strategy session on how to pull off this thing. They said nodded his head after sitting for like 2 hours of listening and just said, "Won't work," and walked out. And I kind of like that. There's some brilliance to someone who's so good they can look at these what smart people thought were really laid out plans and say things like "won't work" and light a cigar and walk out. There's a lot of fun in that book because they were someone who had a vision for how things should go during World War II, especially around the Air Force. But always that little whole statement makes me laugh to think about that. But for a forum post, I like the idea of a full background post. Yeah, it's one of those things too. I like when people put a TLDR and put there because that helps. Sometimes you're just asking me about hard drives, but you want to add more context. That's fine. I will, if I see a TLDR and it's just a question, cool. Some people do have time to sit and read a lot of that. And I'm thankful for those people that have a lot of time on their hands to do that. For me, time is between producing content, running the business, and I went on site and did a bunch of filming. So like I had everything happening. And once I had all those things happening, there's not also time for me to get some of those other things done. So that's a fact. For what it's worth, I'm going to share something else here. So I'm not going to go too much longer, maybe another 10 minutes or so. Since we're not off topic, but we're just jumping topics, right? Because I talked about the things I wanted to. Now we're to the errata part. Share screen, Chrome tab. The basement has been painted. The lights look like some weird because my ceiling is delayed until 10 more days, I think. So there's no ceiling in the new studio, but the walls are painted, and the dangling lights from the ceiling are because when the drop ceiling goes in, these lights go in. So yeah, oh sure, why not? We'll say this too. Go ahead and smash that like button. 161 people watching. How many people are actually 160 viewers, 40 likes? Go ahead and hit more like buttons. Absolutely. I'm all for that. But so the whole project of the new studio is certainly coming along. It's actually kind of strange. It made some kind of, this is why I just finished it. There's so many lights everywhere. What else is, there's not much else to talk about with it though. This is the, it's actually, there's more than one project going on. On the other side of the wall is this. This is the rest of my basement. This is a 33 by 22 space. So yeah, this is the other area that I'm finishing on my basement at the same time. So it's I got a pretty good sized basement. So this is one part of my basement. The studio is another part, and then I have a utility area that we built out. So that's all coming along little by little, getting it all done. And I say little by little because there's my wife painting. I just take pictures of things that get done. So she's doing the painting and everything else there. Oh, it's funny. This was the before picture. This is before lights were put in. I did all the electrical. I wired all the lights, put everything in. It's a lot of fun doing all that. Where's the other pictures? Oh, yeah. These are nice. I made it look really clean. I did all my electrical really nice and took pictures and everything else. So yeah, all these little push pins, junction boxes. There's so much to do. I did it all. I'm not obviously a professional electrician, but I took the time to really make it nice. Actually, I'll pull these up right here. So this is one angle here, and this is from the other side. So this is the utility room, and my studio is actually this corner in the back over here is where my studio is. So this is one area. Then these are the lights I installed. So they're pretty cool. You can find these on Amazon for cheap. They sell them at Lowe's, and the local hardware stores sell them, but they work really well. They're called wafer lights, and they snap into like drop ceilings and stuff like that. I'm going to, when the studio's done, I'll be doing a tour. Plus, I'll have a whole parts list for those of you interested in doing stuff. Because, I have some thought process I put in a little bit, at least, to how I came up with what I should buy for all these things. I love these lights because they have the junction boxes built in. So everything, when you pull the wire in, wire out, and how you jumper to the next one and make sure, you get all that right. That's obviously, yeah. Yes. The 3 open plan toilets, not mine. There was a discussion on that on there. So yeah, these lights work great. They're really bright. So that definitely happy with how bright they are. So the matter of fact, this is what it looked like before the lights. So it's so dim and dingy in there. And yeah. Me staring at the lights, trying to figure out what works. And then after the lights, it's all nice, bright, and well lit in there and everything else. So they work really well. Definitely pretty cool. I was happy the way that part turned. I put the same ones in my studio. I have RGB lights that are going to be separate on there. So that's a whole separate thing. And then I had too many donuts today, so I need to work out more because this was almost the whole the picture for the thumbnail was that one, because those donuts are really good. We hired a new staff member, and it's not exactly an acquisition. So let me explain. I'll leave this with you guys before I wander off here. We had a company where we recently took over their clients. They decided to get out of what they were doing in the IT services space. So we acquired their clients, and we acquired one of their staff. And they're doing consulting now, so it's kind of a weird split. So we still engage with them to an extent. So we hired a new person. The new person brought in donuts from a local donut place, and that made us really happy. So, yeah, that's been kind of fun. It's always cool when someone comes in from another IT company, because some of the people that work here have worked here worked here a very long time. Someone like 12 and 13 years, and so when you bring in someone who's an outsider from another company, it's always interesting the insight that you get with that acquisition and the person coming in and all the culture changes. And, what do you like? Do we do this smart or do we do this dumb? What do you think? I'm very open to how did you do it where you used to be? Is that something that's a fit here? And they actually are very appreciative of this. I'm really, open to ideas. It's also very different from a perspective because I run my company, what we refer to as open book. So I'm very public with my staff, so to speak, on all the money that comes in and comes out, what we bill for things. Nothing's a secret. And you can't just do it partially. You can't just talk about the money coming in. You also have to talk about some of the money going out. It's a very open discussion here, how we set things up and how we structure it. Everyone's on the same page because we're ultimately on the same team in order to make this a profitable company to move forward. So it's a lot. It's kind of a lot there. So yeah. You acquired the one that knows where the bodies are buried. Yes, we did. That is always true. So yes. Company I work for has kind of been buying smaller companies. Yeah, this was less of a buy. They wanted out. So there was just a agreement made for passing the clients back and forth where they would get a finder's fee for finding the clients that they had. It's kind of how it works, essentially. So we did the takeover, and some of these already had existing contracts, so we assumed any of the contracts. We looked at them all first to make sure we would assume them. Nothing was done blindly, of course. Never do that. That's a terrible idea. So that it worked out really well. The customers are really happy. Some of them were excited to meet us, and they're seeing some of the changes that we do different. We have a bigger, broader tool set, and we do things in a fashion that they've been really happy with. So even though because we did this on the first of the year, and it's January 13th right now, 13 days in, the customers are going, oh, wow, you guys have a very clean process for all of this. Right down to the way we engage with our billing system and everything else. So, and the new guy fits in with our team really well. He likes puns. Important. You gotta like puns if you're here. I mean, I haven't listed that as a job requirement yet. It's kind of just needs to be there, though. I mean, I don't know how to put that. Like, how good is your puns? Like, if you can at least laugh at them, I think you can fit in here. Yeah, that's an important. There's a lot of cross training I do that way. No one person ever, and I learned this from corporate. We were very much not at all military, oddly, but some of the stuff I learned later in life because I worked in corporate at a very young age. But one of the things that the company always did that I worked for was cross training. They would rotate jobs to make sure those jobs were completely doable by other people and make sure no one could hold any department hostage. So they would cross-train the different people in accounting, cross-training different people in areas of the business. And always that was important. So personality, attitude. Yeah. Oh, huge. One of my staff, it's kind of wild to think that they've only been here a few years and the amount of knowledge they have, like, they go from barely knowing tech to I brought him up to speed, and now, he's going to shadow me tomorrow on an enterprise storage consulting. But I have several staff members that do a lot of enterprise consulting, and it's once the training and me working with them, always pushing them to the limits, so to speak, is really important to me. So yes, that's it's something I really try to push for. I try to get everybody trained. I never want to be the smartest person. My goal is always try to find someone smarter than me. Always give these people that work for me all the tools they need in order to grow, in order to connect and get better at their jobs. So that's always huge for me. I know nothing about network lighting. No idea. That's why I'm just got good old standard hardwired LED lighting in my house. I got a switch that I can turn on and off, and I'm perfectly happy with it. There's some things I want just to work. I'm still going to set up, I have inside of here, the lighting system. Where did it go? We'll pull it up here. A home assistant. So we do have a home assistant here. Stop sharing. Share screen, Chrome tab. We do have this. I'm going to do a video on it once I reset it back up at my house. So I don't know anything about there, but I can tell you currently Steve's heater is pulling 5 amps. And there's the history of Kyle. So we do know some of the stuff in there. My staff set this up, not me. I could turn off Kyle's light if I wanted to. I think I could change the color of it too. Yeah. I could set the colors of their lights and things like that. I'm going to build one of these for my house. We have one here. This turns on the kitchen light. This turns on a recording plug. So if I hit this button, it turns on. I look this way because that's where my cameras are when you see me in most of my videos. This is another one, but it turns on all the studio lighting and stuff like that. So I have some of this on remote control. Yeah. Ninja's definitely awesome. Or Home Assistant is awesome. And Ninja's awesome too. So all right. Rapid fire. We'll give it a few more minutes. Does anyone have any last minute questions? I see a lot of you found my LinkedIn based on the sudden number of of my network requests that have come up on LinkedIn. So at least a few of you seem to found that. All right. Well, if you're alone in your room, are you the smartest device in a room? We can go with that. Or is there a device there? Is there an AI system that exceeds you in there? Can you restore data at the file level? I don't have context for that, but I'll say yes. I need better context on there. What type of or tea are you drinking? I like this stuff. It's Egyptian licorice. I don't know what it. I don't remember the name. It's by Yogi, 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 Egyptian licorice. Other than building issues, do you prefer Ninja over Enable? That'll answer with a yes. So Ninja works with, just has a nice modern web interface to it. So I'm going to say I like that more modern looking web UI system versus the Enable system. It's looked the same for a long time. It looks the same since I think it was GFI back in 2014 when we started using it. I like the better interface on there. So I'm going to have probably some notes of why I like it better and more detail. But yeah, overall, I'm going to definitely say yes. Finally get your tiny pilot working. Awesome there, Gene. Turned out that the case I was using broke OTG. Oh, okay. On a USB-C port. Huh. Yeah, this can be a challenge. I am not. So the career advice thing, I've been unemployed since 2003. I have not applied for a job since 1998. That's the last time I think I ever, and I don't know. I don't even know if I applied, maybe 97 or 96. So I'm not, I say that, and I actually swing it a little bit this way. I seen Cory Doctorow publish something I thought was really interesting. He says his advice for publishers would be very wrong because the era we live in now is so much different than when he started doing his publishing. And kind of the same way, I am very disconnected. I know what I look for in employees, but I'm also not hiring thousands of people. We only have a staff of 7 people. So with only having a few people, I'm not someone who is full of incredible insight when it comes to the job market. That's one of the reasons I don't give too much advice on it. I feel as though it's not something I have the best advice for, but I do know from friends that have struggled in those markets, it's definitely a lot of challenges to the job market in general. Hey, awesome. Glad you got one of those Jetson boards. I heard they're cool. It's way down on my to-do list to get one, but Jay from Learn Linux TV has one. I know he's playing with his too. Unlikely. So Synology with pfSense and Open LDAP, I just don't use it, so it's just not likely I'll ever do a video on it. If I start using it in the future, I might, but right now, the problem with videos where I only do it to learn something to do a video is it's harder and never as in depth. Versus most of my videos are based on products we use and deploy, so I can talk to them much better. Can I use a dumb switch to expand a single VLAN port on a streaming I don't know what a streaming VLAN is, but you can't mix. It is not a guarantee that a dumb switch will carry the tagged traffic across. Some of them just go, I'm going to throw this out because I don't know what to do with it. So when the packets come across a dumb switch, they usually don't. So no, I don't recommend mixing VLAN traffic on dumb switches. So it can just fail sometimes. The only thing I don't like about Ninja is using it these last 2 years in no dark mode. I told them to ask their devs to program in light mode. And yeah, that's a good point. I'll agree with that for sure. I think one of my staff, or maybe 2 of them, have already modified the CSS anyways to fix that. That's an issue. After the home lab show, I'm busy redoing the IP range in the whole house tonight. Awesome. That's always a fun adventure. Interesting videos in a pipeline. Ooh, if only I was so organized as to have a content schedule. But cable labeling and several cabling videos I'm going to be talking about. Updated TrueNAS video for a whole getting started with TrueNAS in 2022, getting started with pfSense in 2022, and Ninja SentinelOne cybersecurity video, and probably some updated videos from Huntress. Those are all on there. I actually talked to my friend Xavier. For those of you that don't know, Xavier is my cybersecurity hacking friend, and he may help me do the demo on SentinelOne. So, yeah, there's definitely some cybersecurity videos up and coming on there where people want to know about the products we use. So those are some of the up and coming ones on there. Yeah, if the port is used to access if you trunk a port and tag a port, then push it to a dumb switch, that does work. So because now you've stripped off the VLAN tags. So if that's the thing there. Oh yeah, any update on security review? Yes, that's also something in the works because I'm giving people a longer term video on this. And let me go ahead and VPN connect. I'll show this before I wander off. Stop sharing. Screen, Chrome tab. So I have my surveillance station here at my house. So I will be doing a, hey, look, my garage is empty except for some leaves. But because I've been using this for a while, I will be doing a video on this based on a long-term review of it. So the fact that I've been using it's going to be the helpful. One of my deers apparently fell over. That's the thing. The screen's a little stretched. Let me deer down. It's dead, Jim. My wife should put that away. But yeah, I will be doing some updated reviews. Hey, look, a car drove by. That's not exciting though. It's my backyard. It's my toy trailer. What else we got? I did post on Twitter some videos about this. All the snow is gone though, because it all melted again, because it's warm again. But it'll be, yeah. So I'm going to be doing a video on this, and I'll be diving into some of the cool features that can do, including all the smart lapse features. This has been a really fun thing to play with, the smart lapse. So yes, I will definitely be doing a video on all of that. Hopefully that makes sense. SentinelOne. How'd you get an RGB light and a patch panel? I bought it. They are out of stock. They're made by a company called PENN ELCOM. I couldn't find any. Last week, someone said, "Oh my God, those are $100." I'm like, "Yes, they are." I don't think they're the best purchase. Buy some cheap LED lights and do a DIY, or spend $100 on those if you can find them. Nope, I have not tested out S3 on XCPNG. Nope, I have not used CrowdStrike and not on my to-do list to do so. We use SentinelOne is a competitor for CrowdStrike. I don't remember why, but for a reason, we evaluated SentinelOne, compared it to a few other things, and someone's going to be mad when I do the review because they're going to go, but I think this one's better. Okay, I'm not here to convince you. I'm using what I like to use. You use what you like to use. I don't have a good reason not to use CrowdStrike. We just overall, when we looked at the market and talked to my friends in cybersecurity, they pretty much agreed that SentinelOne was one of the best ones. So we use SentinelOne. That was Home Assistant. If you're looking for a project to do at home for remote control of all of your lights, Home Assistant, great tool. Matter of fact, let me find the link for it. So for those of you wondering, home-assistant.io is our website. So 7,200 RPM mechanical drives. Yeah, it's not bad with the mechanical drives. Let's see. It pulls up really fast. So it has no problem with the there's my wife going to work, or where I don't know where she's going. Unplugging the Tesla. But it pulls up fast. It's only got 4 mechanical drives in it, and it's running my MB server. It's running these cameras, recording, time lapsing. It's the hard drive speed's actually not been bad. Yeah, this is that AMD one, and it works well. It's been a good performer. And there goes the garage door. Which one do I have at home? I forgot. Let me look. This is RS1221 Plus with DSM7. So now that I got in there. But yeah, maybe overkill for home, but I'm doing a lot of things with it, so I'm happy with it. It works really well. I've been really happy with it. Like I said, I'm running I have MB running on it. Once I try to go here, I can switch to this and this. And I can put this on the screen. Here's all the, well, actually I got to remove Plex. So Plex is broken. So let's go ahead and uninstall. I switched to MB. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Yes. All right. I like MB quite a bit. That's what I've been running on this. So this thing's running MB and running Surveillance Station, which is not recommended. I just want to see if it worked. And I have Active Insight, Hyper Backup installed, Log Center, Surveillance Station, SAN Manager. Overall, it works. It's been solid. So it's been a good system. Started updating my wife's laptop for the stream, finished reboot, 5200. Oh, no. Yeah. If you're running Windows, you have to have an SSD. I'm sorry. So I haven't had any problems with the permissions in DSM7, but that's me. I also know how to fix problems with it. So I'm never afraid of those problems because whatever. It's the same thing with like TrueNAS. I'm not worried about it. I'm so familiar with the product that, oh, there's a permissions problem, wipe the permissions, rebuild the permissions. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it because I just jump in and work on it. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. I'm going to actually end this so I can go home and do stuff. I think I've answered all the questions. I will have an announcement soon with my new channel. I got to reply to some emails to get the graphics finished on the new channel. I said this last week. I started the new channel. There's no point in subscribing to it because it's blank right now. But that's going to be my business channel. So I'll be tweeting it, posting on LinkedIn. I'll even do an announcement video on this channel just for anyone interested in business videos. Head on over to the new channel once it's ready. I'll have the graphics uploaded probably about tomorrow. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's going to be a lot of fun because, I know there's people who don't care about the business videos, which is fine. You don't have to subscribe to that channel. And yeah. Why? I like NinjaOne better. That's why I've decided to go with NinjaOne. I don't really have any better insight because I've never tested Synchro and I'm not planning on testing Synchro. That's my opinion. So, but if you'd like to use Synchro, I don't know any reason not to use Synchro. So nonetheless, thank you everyone who joined. Smash that like button before you leave, unless you've already done it, because doing it twice wasn't helping me any. So, 104 likes. That is awesome. So awesome. Thank you very much. And I will see you next week and maybe some other videos in between. All right. Take care.